Thank you, Tim. Honorable Minister, my question to you is, a few days ago at the IISS Dialogue, the Foreign Minister of Iran, he mentioned about General Soleimani's death. And he said there's only two people celebrating, which is President Trump and ISIS. How do you see unilateral action, such as the killing of the General Soleimani, affecting the multilateralism? And how do you read this? Thank you.
I think beyond the specific incident, you sit here, you look at what does that mean? Is the situation in the Middle East as a result of that and other things that has happened before and so on? Is it getting more complex? Is it getting more volatile? Is it getting more unpredictable and therefore more challenging? And if so, if there's any fallout from that region, what does that mean for the well-being of countries directly involved, countries that are geographically locked in their region, and globally? And when I say globally, I'm making this point in order to bring this of interest to everybody. And back to the point about multilateralism. So there are the military aspects of it, but there are also obvious economic trade aspects as well. And even the military aspects, the fallout from it, as I described earlier, in terms of the transnational challenges, it doesn't mean the same thing as a disease. I mean, one thing about globalization is that everything can potentially be globalized nowadays because of technology, because of travel, because of a whole host of things. And therefore, it is very difficult for us to look at something that happens in one part of the world, in days gone by. Perhaps you can say that, oh, that is happening thousands of miles away. We note. I think today, that reality is that we are such an interconnected world. Even if you want to decouple, it's not so easy. Huh? But so it is like that. So therefore, it impinges on the well-being and the overall interest of everybody. And what is the overall interest of everybody, therefore, is that tensions, we must find ways to manage those tensions, so that there is a chance that for cooler heads and careful calculations to take place. Hopefully, that it can then, for the entire region, instead of spinning out of control, for example, they might be able to have a relative stabilization, and then through dialogue and across different fora, through different means, to see how the management of those tensions can be more viable. I think with respect to that region in particular, I think it's so long-standing and it's so wrapped up. There isn't a simple solution. I think that we all recognize. But lack of a simple solution is not the same as saying that we must all accept that things are just up in the air and just can spin out of control. I think it is in our collective interest to do our part to avoid that kind of an outcome. And I remain hopeful that if we all put in our efforts, it takes a lot of work. I mean, so coming back to multilateralism, to use well, first of all, that word itself is long. But to operationalize that is not easy, even for smaller packages. And then to sustain it, and then to make sure that as you do so, the net benefits actually percolate through the internal systems in a way that is equitable, in a way that is sustainable. So to talk is easy, to do obviously is very difficult. But if you think of the alternative, it's much, much worse. So I think it behoves us all to do our best. Yeah. Thank you.
SMS, thank you very much. Thank you again for your excellent keynote address, which was a great introduction to this Fullerton Forum, and also for responding to our questions.